ever wonder why the kids in Monsters Inc. are treated like biohazards?
2319!
Yeah, me too. But what if I told you it's not just monster logic, it's corporate propaganda? You see, the villain in Monster Inc. isn't just hiding under the bed. He's in a boardroom with a suit.
It doesn't have to be this way. I have no choice. Times have changed. Scaring isn't enough anymore. But kidnapping children? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die, and I'll silence anyone who gets in my way!
A statement like that is more than a threat. It's a mission statement. Monsters Inc. isn't just a Pixar movie. It's surprisingly a sharp warning about legacy CEOs, profiting over people culture, and the lies just to keep companies within power. In the grand scheme of things, the story of Monsters Inc. at its center is all about Henry J. Waternoose. He's a third-generational CEO, a beloved mentor, and the perfect portrait of a legacy executive going off the rails. While researching for this video, I found myself falling in love with the phenomenal world building that's super easy to glance over. Waternoose's grandfather invented the closet door portal technology that we see throughout the movie, and quite literally revolutionized the way that monsters get energy. So when we meet Waternoose, we're not just seeing someone who's earned his spot, we're seeing someone born into power and trained from birth to protect the company's name at all costs.
But before we can dive deep, I want to test your morality. Let's say you own a power company that keeps the entire city alive. Hospitals, schools, traffic lights, and homes. You have over 1,000 employees who count on you for the paychecks, and tens of thousands more rely on your energy to survive. Your company secretly taps into a cheaper, unsafe energy source located under poor neighborhoods. It's causing health problems, but the residents don't know. Switching to a cleaner method would take years and billions. The company and the city might not survive that change. You estimate a 15% chance of being exposed this year. If you are, it's over. Lawsuits, protests, and collapse. Do you come clean and risk losing everything, or do you hit the button and stay silent to keep the power on? Let me know in the comments what's your decision, as this is something similar to what Waternoose had to decide.
The Scream shortage isn't just a crisis. According to the writers, it's a reputational threat.
Our backstory was there were others like Fearco and Scare Masters. They did the under the bed scares and the basement scares.
Right.
Monsters' big claim to fame was their patented through the closet door scare method.
That's right.
What a day. We're just going through a rough time, sir. Everyone knows you're going to get us through it.
Tell that to the board of directors. James, this company has been in my family for 3 generations. I would do anything to keep it from going under.
Oh, so would I, sir.
And this isn't just something in the monster world. I mean, in the real world, legacy CEOs still run some of the most powerful companies on earth, like Comcast, Fidelity, Dior, you name it, and even the Murdoch media empire. Over 30% of family-owned businesses are now in their second generation, with power being handed down, not earned. By the way, I am not saying passing down a family business is a bad thing. I'm just providing context to why a CEO of this stature might have a more personal stake into keeping a company alive. There's multiple different ways that companies can manipulate the flow of power. I mean, take Walmart. They handed the CEO title from someone outside the family, but the Waltons still control nearly half the company's stock, meaning in some cases, CEOs can still be considered corporate puppets. Now, to play devil's advocate, it'll be wrong to say Waternoose's concerns aren't valid. I mean, the monster world is facing an energy crisis.
Hey, where you going?
Mikey,
what are you
there's
doing?
a scream shortage. We're walking.
Walking?
Yep.
No, my baby, look, she needs to be driven.
And Monsters Inc. isn't just a random company, it's the backbone of Monstropolis. I mean, they're powering homes, schools, and livelihoods. In his mind, he's not just saving profits, he's saving an entire society from collapse.
Our city is counting on you to collect those children's screams. Without Scream, we have no power.
The central question isn't whether the crisis is real, it's what kind of leadership emerges in the face of that crisis. Is it innovation, collaboration, and compassion?
What was that?
Or control, secrecy, and moral compromise?
And I'll silence anyone who gets in my way! No!
Because when survival becomes an excuse to sacrifice ethics, we're no longer just talking about a business problem, we're talking about a moral one. Oil and gas executives, ExxonMobil, BP, and Shell knew about climate change as early as the 1970s and 80s, but actively lobbied against clean energy and funded misinformation campaigns. The moral dilemma is that they justified this as protecting jobs, economies, and energy security while knowing that they're harming the planet. Another extreme example will be Purdue Pharma, aggressively marketing OxyContin despite knowing its addictive risk.
The Sackler family, who owned the company, positioned themselves as philanthropists while fueling a national crisis. They had to pay over $6 billion in settlements, and the Sackler family admitted to no wrongdoing, even after fueling an opioid crisis that killed over 600,000 people. Because according to them, they really felt like they were helping struggling Americans. Now, Waternoose is innovative, but that doesn't mean he isn't inhumane. You see, innovation without ethics is just cruelty with better tools. The Scream Extractor isn't just a machine, it's a horror device. It works by forcefully sucking the screams and possibly even the breath out of children through tubes.
Where is he?
And it strips away the illusion that Monsters Inc. is just some harmless operation. And if that wasn't dark enough, early drafts of the film featured an entire cage room full of kidnapped children. An idea so intense it was cut from the final version. But the concept was real, and it's proof just to show how far a company and its CEO are willing to go in certain circumstances. Waternoose is also willing to banish his own employees just to keep the project quiet. Remember the weird snowman with the yellow snow cones?
Welcome to the Himalaya!
He didn't just get exiled to the Himalayas for nothing. According to future projects, he worked in the mailroom and just happened to come across information about the Scream Extractor project. And that slip of knowledge cost him his entire life.
I'll have you know tampering with the mail is a crime punishable by banishment. Yes, sir.
We're right on it, Mr. Snowman.
Raise your hand if you're familiar with the Boeing 737 MAX crashes. You see, Boeing engineers initially raised safety concerns about their MCAS system before 2 crashes killed 346 people. Some employees who spoke up were reportedly sidelined, ignored, or pressured to stay quiet.
The idea is to keep those airplanes moving, keep that line moving at all costs.
At all costs, even safety.
Unfortunately, yes.
The company buried safety red flags to protect profits, while silencing those who sounded the alarm. Once again, I kinda wanna drill that this is a common thing that happens in corporate America. Some people will say it's a little unrealistic for a company to knowingly hurt children. And I would say, have you ever heard of Johnson & Johnson? Yes, not even babies are spared from corporate greed. About 5 years ago, there were internal memos leaked that revealed Johnson & Johnson knew for decades that its baby powder sometimes contained asbestos.
Reuters, which looked at through many company documents spanning multiple decades, reports Johnson & Johnson didn't tell the FDA that at least 3 tests by 3 different labs from 1972 to 1975 had found asbestos in its talc.
They willingly chose not to inform the public until they were forced with massive lawsuits due to certain chemicals being linked to child cancer. Going into more detail on why I think Monsters Inc. is a perfect blueprint for corporate America is just through the lens of their employees. Let's look at Sully. He's the face of the company. He's treated like the prized mascot, the lovable public image used to maintain trust and morale, but we know Sully's real personality. He's empathetic, conflicted, and increasingly delusioned by the system he helps prop up.
Scaring isn't enough anymore, but kidnapping children?
I would do anything to keep it from going under.
Well, so would I, sir.
And then there's Randall, the kind of employee who thrives by not just being kind or creative, but because he gets results no matter how ruthless the method is. In real world terms, he's like the hard-charging VP, the numbers-driven middle manager, the type of worker toxic culture rewards while quietly burning out everyone else.
Because of you, I had to banish my top scarer.
With this machine, we won't need scarers. Besides, Sullivan got what he deserved.
And what about me? I'm your pal. I'm your best friend. Don't I matter?
Oh yeah, and then there's Mike. He isn't evil, he's not plotting, he's just comfortable. The system benefits him, so he doesn't question it.
Ever since that kid came in, you've ignored everything I've said. And now look where we are. Oh, we were about to break the record, Sully. We would have had it made.
None of that matters now.
None of it mattered? Wait a second.
And that's the scariest part, because most systems don't survive because of villains. They survive because of people like Mike, decent folk who look away, who say that's just how things work.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me!
It's easy to blame the monsters at the top, but systems of harm need the silence of everyone in the middle just to function.
Remember to tip your waitresses.
Great job, Mikey. You filled your quota on the first kid of the day.
Not bad, huh? You know, only somebody with perfect comedic timing could produce this much energy in one shot.
Uh-huh. And the fact that laughter is 10 times more powerful than scream had nothing to do with it.
I've seen a lot of discussion based on if Waternoose would have accepted laughter as an alternative source. Some fans argue yes, that Waternoose was desperate, not evil, that if laughter had been proven to be more efficient earlier, he might have pivoted. But let's be real, Waternoose didn't care about innovation, he cared more about control. The fear-based system was never just about energy, it was more ideology if anything. Monsters have been conditioned for generations to believe that human children were toxic, deadly, and untouchable.
Scary? Why are monsters scared of kids?
Well, it's just...
Kids are toxic! One tiny little touch from a human kid, and blam! Adios, ciao, sayonara!
Why should I care if kids are being kidnapped if they're dangerous to me in the first place? Once again, what made Waternoose so dangerous and so familiar is that he was able to maintain a culture of fear, because fear made monsters compliant. Fear made Scream Extraction feel necessary. Would he have accepted laughter? Only if it was impossible to deny, and even then, only if it preserved his control. Because in the real world, corporations don't chase what's right, they chase what's profitable. And CEOs like Waternoose are hired to protect the bottom line. This is kind of a gray area, but I wonder what was the time jump between Waternoose getting arrested and Sully taking over as head manager.
At least we had some laughs, right?
And the only reason I'm curious, because I just want to know how long it took to de-brainwash the monsters, because a lost child caused all of this once.
Building clear, ready for decontamination.
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
Well, a kid flew right over me and blasted a car with its laser vision.
I tried to run from it, but it picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a doll.
It's true! I saw the whole thing!
It is my professional opinion that now is the time to panic!
Monsters Inc. doesn't end with Waternoose, it ends with Sully, a mascot who finally saw the child behind the screen, who chose empathy over efficiency, who realized that maybe joy and not fear is a better source of power in every sense. That matters. The world is still full of Waternooses, people in high places who inherited power, trained in scarcity, and are too afraid to imagine anything different. But it's also full of Mikes and Sullys, people who question. Laughter energy didn't just save Monstropolis, it redefined it and made the world a lot safer. And maybe that's the final lesson. Systems don't change because the powerful suddenly grow a conscience. They change when enough people stop being afraid and start imagining something better. So the next time someone tells you that cruelty is the cost of doing business, remember, there's always another way, even in the monsters world. With that being said, I want to thank you for watching Media Munchies and also staying to the end of the video. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, so if this is content that you like, maybe consider dropping a sub. Once again, thank you.